In this video, I'm going to show you how to grow your business without ever going viral and how to turn your social media into a lead nurturing machine. Most businesses are stuck on that social media hamster wheel, always struggling to post that next piece of content. But I'm going to show you how creating content can become the easiest part of your entire business and how it can heat up prospects into buyers on autopilot. So let's jump into it. I first want to start by talking about how going viral doesn't matter. And I'm going to prove it to you. So all these content gurus out there are teaching how to go viral. But I had this epiphany. All of the most viral creators run tons of ads. So look at this. Alex Hormozi is running 450 ads. Gary Vaynerchuk, 1,100 ads. Russell Brunson, 2,100 ads. Grant Cardone, 3,400 ads. If going viral really mattered, why would the people that are the most viral have to spend any money on paid ads whatsoever? At the same time as I had this epiphany, I started noticing another class of entrepreneurs. So this is Jacob Karas. He has 2,500 followers on Instagram, and he's done $6 million in his coaching business. I think that's like in the last 4 years. He only has one part-time VA, and right now he was making over $100,000 a month. This is Boris. This is actually my coach. He did $92,000 last month, and he has 5,700 followers on Instagram. Here's Dan Bolton. Dan has less than 7,500 followers on Instagram, and he makes $2 million a year in profit. He talks about how his YouTube channel is his secret weapon in nurturing prospects into buyers, and he only has 3,500 subscribers, and his number one most viewed video is 7,800 views. If your YouTube paradigm was Mr. Beast, that you have to have hundreds of thousands of views, if not millions, and you need to get your gold play button, you would think that 3,500 subscribers, that's like a dead account, right? But this guy does $2 million in profit. He's made $1,000 for every follower on Instagram. Absolutely crazy. This is Sean Anthony. He has 1,700 followers, and he has a multi-million-dollar business. And here's Austin Medlin. He has 6,400 followers on Instagram, and he made $750,000 in May. So if your approach to social media was go viral, get as many views as possible, grow as big of an audience as you can, and then monetize it somehow, all of these people would seem like failures. These are tiny numbers, but they do the opposite. They have an offer that solves a specific problem for a specific person. They use ads to get in front of those people. They use content to heat them up. They use long form to create bingeable content. They suck those people in and then convert them into sales. We'll dig into this more in just a minute, but this is essentially a content ecosystem, or as I like to call it, a content web, where somebody gets stuck in that web and we just suck them in. For the last 4+ years of my content agency, we've mostly focused on short form content, but just recently, we've been doing a lot more of this content ecosystem, building out this holistic strategy. And just as an example, here's my client, Nico. This is exactly what we do for him. Him and his business partner are doing over $200,000 a month in revenue. They made $68,000 from just one single ad that we created together. In the rest of this video, I'm going to show you exactly how we do that. And essentially, like I said, it's the content ecosystem. So this is how it works in a nutshell. We run ads to grab people's attention. We use short form to heat those people up. We push those people over to long form where they can binge more of our content. And then whether it's in long form or short form, we push them to some form of a call to action. That could be DM us for a lead magnet. That could be leave a comment below to start a conversation. That could be a tripwire offer or anything else just to get that relationship started. This is exactly what those 5 people that I showed you before are doing. They're all doing different components. Sean Anthony focuses on email. Dan Bolton focuses a little bit more on YouTube. Boris does Instagram and YouTube, but all of them kind of have those 3 buckets. There's the ad, there's short form, and there's long form. I have a video linked below where I go a lot further in depth on each one of those 5 guys. I don't want to do all of that right now, but if you'd like to see a breakdown of each one of their strategies and the exact kinds of content that they create, there'll be that link down below this video where you can go check that out. Like I said, the components might be different, but the overall concept is the same. The first is to start with ads. Now, a lot of people think the ads need to be highly scripted and really salesy. You've seen a million ads like this where it's like, hey, are you a coach or a consultant? Do you want to get over 10K a month? And they think that they have to jump off of the screen and be like as in your face as possible to stop you from swiping. But I have a different approach. I like to do what I call Trojan horse ads. So I'll find a clip from somebody who's speaking about my niche or about my offer. And then I watch them and then I react to it. I just give my 2 cents. When I run this as an ad, nobody knows who I am. So if just my bald face pops up in your feed, you might not want to watch that. But if Gary Vee pops up in your feed, especially if you're a Gary Vee fan and I'm targeting Gary Vee followers, all of a sudden that makes sense why he's in your feed, or why Tim Ferriss is in your feed, or why Elon Musk is in your feed. I call these Trojan horse ads because Elon and Tim and Gary Vee, they're like the Trojan horse that is introducing me to their audience. And then anybody who watches 100% of that video they'll automatically be targeted with more of my content. You've probably heard this already, but all the social media platforms are moving over to the interest graph. So before, you would see content from people that you followed. Now, everybody's trying to copy TikTok. They just want to show you content that you're the most likely to watch to keep you on the platform as long as possible. So whatever they think you're interested in, that's what they're going to serve you more of. So if you watch 100% of one of my videos, they're automatically going to show you more of my content. So I need to create those ads that are going to grab your attention, and then I need to post on a regular basis so that once you see one of my ads and Gary Vee introduces me to you, now all of a sudden you're seeing me over and over again. Now, my second approach to ads is just the best ads are the best content. So what we do is we create ads that are not designed to sell you right now, but to educate and to inspire and entertain and just to get you to watch. Every good copywriter knows that the goal of every sentence is just to sell the next sentence and then the next sentence. And if we string enough of those together, we walk somebody through our sales letter until they get to the end and they get our sales pitch. And content and ads is the same way. I'm not trying to get you to buy immediately right now. I want to earn the right to speak to you again and again and again. And if I string enough pieces of content like that together, then the sale is going to become inevitable. So I want that ad to grab your attention and get you to watch, and then you're going to start seeing more and more of my content. So what we like to do is post organic content, and then whatever ones do the best, we put ad spend behind that and then run that as an ad. And we might add a call to action at the end of the video, or just have a call to action in the description below. So that's the first component, is ads. The next component is Reels. Now, everybody is still so focused on the Alex Hormozi style of content, but I like to focus on message over medium. So medium is how we convey the information. The message is the content itself, the message that you want to share with people. So what I encourage all of my clients to do and what we work on together is to hone in that message. So we're saying the right thing to the right person. And then once we have that figured out, it doesn't really matter what the medium is. So we do Alex Hormozi style content just like this, but we also do podcast style videos or selfie style videos or walk and talk videos or swipe videos. If you'd like to see this, I can share this with you. This is a doc that we just use for all the different styles of content that we make, but mix it up. Just try different styles of content. And like I said, refine that message and put it in front of people in as many different formats as you can. The next kind of content in your content ecosystem is stories. So a lot of people really struggle with this because they think that to create stories, I have to be on my phone all day long because I have to be taking pictures of what I'm doing, at the gym, working, taking pictures of my food, and I don't want to be glued to social media 24/7. And I totally understand that. I don't like doing that either. What we do with our clients is we transcribe all of our reels, and then we take those transcripts and then we turn those into lots of other kinds of content, including stories. So we do stories like this, where we take a picture. It could just be a generic picture from Unsplash, or sometimes clients can share their camera roll with us and we'll use their personal pictures. And then we just put text over the top of it. My goal is to make it feel like you're texting with your audience. Like you just have this idea, you typed out a message specifically to them, used a picture that you took, and it feels a lot more personal. So even though it requires no extra work on our client's behalf, if we do it right, it feels really personal and relationship building with your audience. This is super important for a few reasons. One, because stories is a whole second aspect of Instagram. So if you're not posting there, you're leaving half of the platform unleveraged. You have to take advantage of it. Secondly, it's a great place for call to actions because you can do the swipe up or you put a link on the story itself. You need to have content going out there every single day so that when you're ready to make a pitch, it doesn't come across as salesy because that channel is already open. People are used to seeing you every day. Now, the next component to your content ecosystem is repurposed content. So like I said, we take a transcript from every one of those videos. We also turn those into carousels, different styles of carousels. We'll take an image and have a long piece of text that goes along with it, almost like a mini article, like these. Stories, like I just mentioned, we'll do quote images, we'll do tweet threads, we'll do tweet videos, we'll do animated quotes. Once again, I want to focus on the message over medium. So once we have a concept that we know works, I want to put those in front of as many people in as many different formats, as many times as possible. Not everybody's going to see every one of your posts. So when we have a good idea we want people to internalize, I want to keep putting it in front of them over and over again. Also, I want to do it in as many styles as possible. Maybe some people don't want to watch, but they do want to read. Maybe they don't want to read, but they want to listen. Maybe they don't want to read text, they do want to look at a picture. So I want to leverage all of those different styles of consuming content. And I think some people have this idea that repurposed means less valuable, like it's recycled content, but I'm going to show you that that's not the case. So on Instagram, if you click on View Insights underneath any of one of your posts, it'll give you a little graph of how many followers versus non-followers consumed a piece of content. So for all of our clients, we compile all of that data, and then when we do our filming sessions, we'll sort by followers and by non-followers. And we'll take like the top 5 posts and we'll ask ourselves, why do we think that content did the best? And how can we double down on that? How can we dig into some of those topics even deeper? Or how can we even just say the same things, but in new, fresh ways? The interesting thing is that when we sort by followers, the content that does the best for our existing audience is almost always the repurposed content. So if you look at this client here, the number 2 piece of content for followers was a talking head video, as was, I don't know, this is maybe like 9 or 10, but look at all the other ones. An image with long piece of text, a carousel, a quote image, image with text. So what we like to do is use those reels to bring in non-followers and then the repurposed content to heat up our existing followers. Most people are still so focused on Hormozi style content because they feel like, reels are blowing up, but you have to have both kinds of content. And by both, I just mean the video and the repurposed stuff. Really, you have to have a lot of kinds of content, the carousels and the tweets and the stories and the image posts, all that stuff. And then the last component to your ecosystem is YouTube content. And like I showed you in Dan Bolton's example, the goal of YouTube is not to start a completely separate social media channel. It's not like, okay, what are the rules to win on Instagram? Or what are the rules to win on LinkedIn? And now what are the rules to win on YouTube? Really, it's all about just content. And it's about getting people to binge as much of your content as possible. So let's say it takes 1 hour of total consumption time for somebody to see you as an expert. That means that if we post a 1-minute reel every single day, then it'll take 60 days for somebody to see you as an expert. But now let's say that we make a YouTube video that has 5 steps to accomplish XYZ. And each one of those 5 steps becomes its own reel. And then in the reel, you say, if this was helpful for you, I actually have a training that goes into 5 things. Click on the link in my bio to go check it out. So now somebody has seen a 60-second reel, we push them to YouTube, and now they watch like a 10 or a 20-minute video. Let's say that at the end of that video, it links to a few more 10 or 20-minute videos. Now, all of a sudden, somebody can go from watching one 60-second reel to spending an hour with us on YouTube. So rather than waiting for 60 days to get up to that expertise threshold, we can do that in one single day. So like I said, the goal is not to be Mr. Beast and blow up a huge YouTube account. It is to be able to push people from short form content over to long form and 10x the rate at which they see our face, hear our voice, and consume our content. They'll see us as an expert so much faster, we can turn them from prospects into buyers. It's actually a pretty simple system. Nothing in here is earth-shattering or a giant revelation, but the problem is creating content, as you probably already know, is a huge pain in the butt. You have to figure out what to talk about. You have to set up your camera and your lights and your microphone. You have to deliver it into the camera without doing 50 takes. And you know how it is. As soon as the little red light comes on, you start getting in your head, you trip over your words, and it takes you 50 takes just to do a 1-minute video. Then you have to edit it and chop it up and animate it and add headlines and captions and graphics and all that kind of stuff. Then you need to schedule it and post it, write all of your descriptions. It's a monumental task. And it really bothers me when all these gurus say, oh, it doesn't have to be difficult. Just get out your phone, talk into it, and just publish it. It doesn't have to be polished. And I have 2 big problems with that. The first is that even creating bad content takes a lot of time. There's a ton of steps that go into that. It's not as easy as just talking into your phone, uploading it. And the second problem that I have is it's not good enough to create bad content. With every passing day, the threshold for kind of like minimum acceptable content keeps going up and up. There's so much good content out there. If we're going to ask somebody to spend their time and energy consuming our content, we have to show them that we spent time and energy creating it in the first place. If it's not worth our time to create good content, they're not going to think it's worth spending their time consuming that content. So you have to create good content. So how do you do that? Well, what I do for my clients is what I call the done-for-you content ecosystem. So there's 4 steps to what we do. The first is we come up with ideas for you. So we have a survey to fill out, and it asks, what problem do you solve? Who do you help? What pain are they moving away from? What pleasure are you moving them towards? Things like that. And then we will write out a bunch of questions. For clients who want to, we can collaborate on that. We can share that doc and we can bounce headlines back and forth, write out bullet points. But for most of our clients, they're super busy. They just want to show up to our filming session and we do all of the work for them. So we'll create a big list of questions and we'll outline those ideas for their content for them. Now, the next step is we get on an online filming session. Clients just show up, and my goal is that they just show up and talk. So we will ask those questions, and then they just riff. They don't have to memorize lines. They don't have to rehearse scripts. They don't even have to worry about how long they talk for. So we could ask a short question. They give us a 5-minute answer. Our team is really good at being able to take however much they give us and figure out what's the hook, what's the meat of that video, what's fluff we can take out, what do we have to rearrange. We can massage whatever they give us and turn it into engaging, punchy content that people are going to love to watch. And my goal also is that I always want to help my clients come up with concepts and ideas that their audience can't hear from anywhere else. So I hate when, I see like generic chat GPT content, oh, the 5 ways to do XYZ. What I like to do is start like digging and like asking deeper and deeper questions. And we find this little golden thread and we start pulling on it. We see where that thread takes us until we discover the gold. We discover the mother lode. That's what I love doing with my clients, is discovering those unique concepts that nobody else can share. Once we have that recording done, then my team takes that and they chop it up and they turn it into all of your content. So like I said, they'll massage your answers down into concise and engaging clips. And then we add captions and B-roll and headlines and animations and turn that into all of your video content. We also transcribe them, like I mentioned before, and turn that into carousels and tweets, stories, quote images, everything else. And then the fourth step is that we schedule and post everything for you as well. We'll keep a content calendar. We put everything on the calendar, and then clients can review and approve that. So they can just go down the list and they just literally click approve, approve, approve. Hey, on this video, I don't totally love the headline. Can we change it to something else? We make all of those changes. And then once it's finalized, you'll see the entire month of content on the calendar, and it'll automatically get posted for you every single day. And then assuming that we keep working together, we just start back at the beginning and start the whole process over again. And like I showed you before, we compile all the data in a spreadsheet and we iterate off of all of the best content. So with each passing month, we continually refine our messaging until it's razor sharp and it resonates on a visceral level with our ideal prospects. There's a few components to this process that make it incredibly powerful. So the first is flow over frameworks. I think so many gurus out there are teaching like, here's the perfect viral framework to follow. But I feel like when you follow someone else's framework, you start sounding like someone else. Like I said before, I want to help my clients sound unique. Being different is better than being better. So I just try to get our clients into flow where they just show up, their personality comes through, it feels natural, it feels conversational. We capture their essence, who they are. And then we do all of the rest in post, in the edit itself. So we just get you into flow. The content sounds so much better that way. The second component is systems over strategy. So same thing, I see so many offers that are the strategy. Here's how to put all the components in the right place. And that's great, but even with the right strategy, you still have to do all of the work yourself. I always use the example of a CPA. If you hired an accountant to help you with your taxes, you wouldn't want them to give you a course on how to do your taxes. You want them to do your taxes for you. And that's kind of what the way our service is as well. I'm not going to teach you the strategy. We're going to create a system where it makes it super fast and easy, where all the work gets done for you. You show up, you do the thing which only you can do, which is talk into the camera, and then everything else gets done. So all of your content time is not spent managing people or editing yourself. It's just downloading your knowledge and your charisma and your personality into that lens, and then we do all the rest of the work to maximize your content. So when you have the right system in place, creating content suddenly becomes the easiest part of your entire business. And the last component is message over medium, like I keep talking about. The most important part is just figuring out that message is going to resonate with people on a visceral level. I don't have time to walk you through all of these, but if you go to my Instagram, I try to share videos like this on a regular basis of my clients that we've stumbled across these messages together. So I just want to show you my favorite one. This is my client, Jordan. He is a personal trainer and he's Polynesian. And he said that a lot of people in the Polynesian community are really overweight and they tend to die early. He wanted to show his friends and his family that they were not doomed by genetics. So he got in incredible shape himself and then he became a personal trainer. And I told him, would it be cheesy if we said, I didn't start a personal training business to make money. I started it to change the future of my people. And he lit up and he said, yes, that's exactly right. Now, suddenly, if you're Polynesian, there is only one person you want to work with, and that's Jordan. And that's what I love doing. I love helping people find those messages that only they can share. So if you're a business coach, or really if you're any business that has a personality component to the business, if you have a founder, if you have a face and a personality that people need to connect with, to build rapport with in order to build your business, but creating content takes a ton of time, you're not sure what to talk about, it's a pain managing a team, hiring people, editing, scheduling, posting, if you always feel like you're scrambling at the last minute to find something to post, then we would love to be able to help you solve that problem. With our clients, we do a 1-hour filming session once a month, and we post one piece of content, if not more, every single day for the entire month. If that would be helpful, shoot me a DM on Instagram or send me an email. I'd love to tell you more about how it works and to see if we could be helpful for you. Also, check out the links below. I have some links below that go into some of these topics a little bit further in depth. Those 5 people at the beginning, I'll show you more about how their strategies work, as well as some content styles that you can create for yourself and for your own social media. Thanks for watching.